Hey everybody, it's Case on the Well Country Show here on Penn's Peak Radio. Just coming back from the Christmas holiday break. And I'll tell you what, we don't mess around. We jump right into things here on the show. As always, bringing you another great artist. And these guys are a little bit different than some of the stuff that I usually play here. But I love their music so much, I decided I had to have them on the show. So I hope you guys enjoy their music as well. We are going to be playing some of their songs off their brand new album coming up in just a bit. But first, I want you to get to know the players of this group. It's a duo. It's called Violet Bell. And we have both Lizzy and Omar on the phone with us this afternoon. Welcome, guys, to the Well Country Show.
Hey, Casey. Thanks for having us.
Hey, how are you guys doing? How was your Christmas?
Oh, it was amazing.
Pretty awesome.
Pretty fantastic.
That's great. You know what? I love Christmas. It's like a great time where you can kind of like kick back, relax, get some R&R in, and spend a lot of time with family and friends. And I'm sure you guys appreciate that too with such busy schedules. You know, you're running the rest of the year, you know, to be able to kind of like relax a little with that. I'm sure that's very important to you guys.
It's like... And it's enforced because you couldn't get anything done if you wanted to, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, everything's closed.
Tell yourself, I deserve this break. I deserve this break.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm sure you guys do. And from what I've read and from what I understand, you guys definitely are a busy duo doing a lot of really cool things. But just in case people don't know who Violet Bell is, let's just back up a little bit. Why don't you each tell us a little bit about who you are independently and how Violet Bell came to be, and then we'll kind of go from there. But give us a little background, guys, of each of you.
Sure. So I'm Lizzy, half of Violet Bell, and I had been making music in North Carolina for a couple of years with a couple bands, and I moved to Nashville, and I was playing solo, and came back to North Carolina and connected with Omar.
I just want to make sure that everybody knows it's Lizzy Ross, not just Lizzy.
Thanks,
and that was her band before I met her.
It was under my name.
Uh-huh.
So I had been in that band, and I realized that was way too weird for Nashville. I wanted to write these bizarre songs. And I met Omar when I was getting ready to record a live album of songs that I had written while I was in Nashville. And Omar took the dive with me and played at that show. He had met me just 2 weeks before the show, and he played on the album show recording. So it was like intensive, quick, learn all this stuff really quick. And he was amazing. And so we've just been making music since then. And
How's that first gig? How's the first gig together?
And it's been it'll be 2 years in March.
That's awesome.
So it's really fun to grow and to go from, playing that one gig to realizing, holy moly, do this thing together.
Yeah. Things are kind of taking off in a musical way, and I guess I'll take it over from here.
Yeah.
My name is Omar Ruiz Lopez, and I am a composer and multi-instrumentalist based in Durham. And I met Lizzy last year through a mutual friend that thought we should get together and play. And we did, and my life has changed since that started happening.
That's awesome. Now, you guys, like you even mentioned, you're not the traditional, typical sound. It's more, I guess, almost eerie kind of sound. I've listened to a couple of the songs, and they take you on like an interesting journey. How would you guys describe your genre or your style?
Yeah.
The PG version or the R-rated version?
I think it's, we're really immersed out here. We live out in the country in North Carolina, and we spend a lot of time outside, so we're immersed in those natural sounds and textures. And we're also immersed in the bluegrass world, and we really admire gypsy players, like Stefan Grappelli is one of Omar's inspirations on the violin.
Star classical composers like Debussy and Ravel and Beethoven.
So I think it's funny, we're kids, we grew up in an age where you could easily listen to a lot of music, and that has given us a really broad pool of genres to draw from. Like last night we were rocking out to Esperanza Spalding and Tune Yards, and I think we're part of that generation of fans. We're starting to see that are blending so many genres. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think across the board genres are kind of jumping. Artists are even jumping from genre to genre. I mean, that's just something that I talk about a lot on my show, where you have, I mean, when you have, Steven Tyler and, oh my gosh, my brain's not going, but, all these artists jumping back from country, and then country artists jumping over to pop. And, I think the lines are very blurred when it comes to genres anymore. So you guys kind of fit right in there. Where does Violet Bell though come from? Where did that wording, what does that mean for you guys?
That's actually a line in one of Lizzy's songs that she wrote before she met. The song in question is called Smoke in the Night. And there's, it's one of the lines tagged to that verse.
Yeah, Velvet Ocean, Violet Bell, I come to your well. And we recorded that song, Smoke in the Night, on that live album, which was incidentally our first gig together before we became the band Violet Bell. And I just like that phrase. I like the way it felt. And to me, it kind of spoke of, like, tuning into a different awareness and something deep and healing. And also, I love the color purple. Hey, who doesn't?
I do. It's my favorite. It's my birthstone color, so I'm all about it.
That's right. And I love how it mixes purple is a mix of red and blue. It's like masculine and feminine mixed together, and then the bell to me is like a clearing sound.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been really cool to see when we travel and make music how people are. Anytime anybody makes music, everybody's changed by the experience. Like when we get up and dance and we listen to music and we feel good, we come out of it pretty much for the better. Like, we got kind of like took an energetic shower almost. Mm-hmm. And I kind of feel that applies to the bell part of our name.
Nice. Okay. That sounds good. So you guys, you're only 2 years strong at this point, but you've already, are on the fast track of earning fans, and you guys are doing some touring and you're doing some playing out there and stuff. And you've actually gotten an album out. You want to tell us a little about the Dream the Wheel, the album?
I'm very proud of this album, Dream the Wheel, because it is the first time I have felt fully invested in a group recording where I feel that it is ours and the arrangements are ours. Ideas in the music in the arrangements is ours. So Lizzy and I recorded it over several weeks this past year in the spring, and it was interesting seeing all the pieces come together. Lizzy played guitar and sang, and I played violin, viola, cello, mandolin, and guitars on it. So with each layer that we added, we just saw this picture, and we've been hearing in our heads being realized right before us.
How many songs are actually on the album?
So the album appears to have 6 tracks, but it's actually 4 songs and then 2 tracks that one of them is called 22 Acres Waltz, and it takes a melodic theme from one song on the album, which is called Write My Lines. And Omar played that. He developed that theme and just played that track in one take. And it was kind of his interpretation of having that melody bumping around in his head. And we layered that with some crickets that we recorded on our back porch out here in Hillsborough in North Carolina. Because the environment has been such a huge part of the music we make. Only because, we live in a tiny house. We have to get outside to make noise. We have to get to have space, and to have the amount of room it takes to compose. And it just feels like that
sound of the animals and the creatures and the crickets in the air really gives it a sense of time and place. And we wanted to share that with our listeners because it feels good. And yeah, and then there's another track that's an instrumental track as well, with sounds from our local river, Little River. And that's the place we go to get a lot of inspiration for our writing. Dream the Wheel, which is the title track, and it's the second song Omar and I wrote together, which is really fun. I love composing with other people. There's so much more alchemy involved sometimes. And then we had one of the tracks I really particularly loved was the song Vampire, where Omar really got to stretch out. He's composed orchestral pieces before and had them performed by the Durham Symphony Orchestra, and he got to write sort of orchestral string parts where he layered the violin, the viola, the cello, and made this really big sound. Particularly on Vampire. But it's also got electric guitars in there, so it's like I said, we're integrating textures from so much of our favorite music, and there's a big variety.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think what we want to do is maybe give peeps, the listening audience, a little flavor for your sound, and then we'll chat a little bit more about the album and what you guys have been doing and how you're touring and stuff. But I need to take a little bit of a break. But can you guys hang in there for just a minute yet? Yeah. Okay, good. What I think we're going to do is I have to take a break. We're going to come back with that title track that you were just talking of, Dream the Wheel, which is the title track as well as the album title, correct?
That's right.
Okay. We're going to come back with that, give people a little feel about what you guys are talking about by mixing the layers and the sounds and the music and, the talents of your guitar playing and your vocals along with Omar's, amazing ability to play all those different instruments, the violin, the viola, the cello, the keys, the guitar, and sing. So that's kind of cool. And I think what we're going to do is give folks a little bit of a taste of that. If you can hang in there just 1 minute.
Absolutely.
Great. We're going to take a little bit of a break. We're going to be back more with Lizzy and Omar of Violet Bell. You guys want to look these guys up, and we're going to tell you how to find them in just a minute. We're going to be listening to one of their tunes, the title track of their album, Dream the Wheel, coming up right after this break. Don't go anywhere. Stay right here on the Wall to Wall Country Show with me, Casey. And there you guys heard back there just a little bit, Dream the Wheel, which is the title track as well as the name of the album from Violet Bell, combination talents of Lizzy and Omar. And you can hear, the music that they talk about, a little dreamy, put together in layers. And it's one of those things that, you just really should kind of close your eyes and encompass the entire piece of music. Am I right on that, guys?
Yeah, I love how you're talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not traditional anything. You guys are setting some boundaries here, and I think it's really cool that, you're stretching and pushing out the balloon of the type of music you guys are playing to encompass these kinds of sounds and stuff. And I'm looking forward to hearing a lot of the other songs that are in music, is, where you're using nature sounds and things like that. And you're talking to a girl who's had 3 dogs in her life so far. The first dog's name was Karma, and I currently have 2 rescues, one of which is Ara and Chakra. So,
awesome. Then I have to tell you that, we are called Violet Bell, and I think of, violet as, a crown chakra color, right?
Yes, yeah, absolutely, yes.
And, the ringing is, the bell rings and you wake up.
Yeah.
That's one of the sort of prayers we have about our music, woo, may all creatures everywhere be happy and free.
Yeah. And, and I do believe in the chakras and the inner peace and really being in touch with nature. I mean, I was a river guide for 25 years, so, I totally get your music. And I know, I'm assuming that actually might be a challenge for some, though. What kind of response are you getting now that you have an album out there and you're doing some touring with your style of music, whatever word you want to attach to it?
I feel like every time we go somewhere and we connect with people in person, it's electric and wonderful.
The response has been immediate, unlike any other group I've been in. where as soon as we start playing, people notice that it's a little different than what they usually hear. And every show we end up making new friends, I guarantee, because the music invites people in instead of pushing them away.
Yeah, and I love that we've played a lot of shows now. Like, in 2 years, we've played over 200 shows, so, or less than 2 years, because I'm thinking into the future. It hasn't even been 2 years. And so that gives you a lot of opportunities early on to see, like, what works and what doesn't, what do people really respond to. And we have had a lot of fun experiencing, like, creating a repertoire that people really respond to live and that lights up a room where, like, we all connect and we have a good time. And I mean, because every situation is different, that means we have to have a lot of songs in our back pocket. And it keeps us on our toes.
Now, is it just the two of you when you guys are out performing, or have you adapted a few other members that help you perform live, or is it just the duo of you?
It's really mostly the two of us. When we're on the road for longer tours, we go out for a couple weeks at a time. But we're looking at buying a Ford Transit, so we're like planning for an expanded band. Yeah. And we've played with a couple other people as well. There are lots of amazing musicians in this area, in the Triangle. So we've played with members of Crackdown, and we've played with, Omar has amazing friends from the orchestra and members of Kairaba.
Mm-hmm.
And we're probably going to be doing some sets next year with a drum kit and some percussion, which is exciting for us because, all those bar gigs and brewery gigs already got us into having a repertoire where we get people up and dancing. But when you add the drum kit in there, it's just so funky and inviting and fun.
Great. Good stuff. Now, tell us a little bit about this one other song that you mentioned is on the album. One of the 4 actual songs that are on there, and it's called Dear One.
Sure. This tune is a song that I wrote when I came back to North Carolina from Nashville. And I guess, I read a review of our album recently where someone said, it's a song to a loved one. And actually, it's a song you can interpret it as a song to a loved one. And typically, I don't like to tell people what I'm thinking of when I write because I like them to get the chance to interpret the song and, let it mean to you what it means to you. But to me, I was talking to Dear One, to the one inside my heart, the sort of the deepest, truest self that each of us comes home to at the end of the day or, whatever you do, if you ever do get to really...
Which is closest to...
Yeah, and I guess, it's so hard it can be hard to put it into words. I guess that's why I put it in a song. Yeah. Coming home to the truth inside yourself and, the comfort of that deep peace.
Yeah. The person who knows you the best is going to be yourself, and you need to be honest with yourself, and yourself has to be honest with you. You can fool a lot of people in the world, but you're never going to be able to fool what's really deep down inside of you. So,
yes,
you got to have that conversation with yourself, and and I think people struggle with that too. Trying to find that in themselves too, so that might help them. If you do explain it, maybe people can look at it that way and go, wow, maybe I need to do that. I need to get back in touch with me,
Actually, yeah, that's been one of our goals with our music, too, is to not be too on the head or too on the nose about, political leanings, because that could push people away instead of bringing them towards us.
Right.
Which is, I guess maybe one closer to unity.
Yeah, unity over alienation. What the world needs now is love, sweet love.
You guys are almost like a throwback from the 60s or something.
Yeah, I think that's going on. It's psychedelic.
Yeah. It's definitely not just tender, because we like to rage and rock out, too. So.
And we have the bluegrass folks to thank for that, because they can rock out with no amp.
Yeah.
Violin, all those festivals, late nights, stand up, playing around the fire.
Cool.
Rock.
Cool. So what I want to do is, I'm going to, end our little conversation with Dear One so people can get a feel for that, because we've talked about that one. And then I know you mentioned Vampire, and this whole show gets recorded and we play it back on this coming Sunday. So we'll be airing it again on Sunday. And I like to end the show with a song to remind people if they missed it today, they can listen on Sunday and catch the whole thing. And since you mentioned Vampire too, I think we'll end the show with that one. But before we get there and get to our goodbyes, tell us a little bit about what you guys do have in store for 2018 and what your fans can be looking for.
Okay. 2018 is going to be a big year for us. We are already planning to be in Florida this January, so we're going to come say hi to our Southwestern Florida friends.
And then we're going to Folk Alliance in Kansas City.
Yeah, that's an international conference in Missouri, and we're going to be performing there, and we're excited to reconnect with so many amazing writers. Rebecca Loby, Jonathan Bird, which Omar played with him for 2 years on the road, and a whole bunch of other incredible writers.
Then we're going to record another album, and then,
we'll be headed down. Yeah. Festivals get kicking in April and May, and then we're going to be on the Outer Banks in June, and then we're going to be touring all the way up north to Maine and Nova Scotia in July and August, and back in North Carolina in September, because that's a beautiful time to be in North Carolina, and who knows what's after that.
Well, hey, listen, if you guys are going to be heading up the coast here and possibly going through Pennsylvania, just FYI, we are on the east side of Pennsylvania. We'd love for you guys to make a stop, impromptu stop here at our studios if you have the time. That would be wonderful.
Absolutely.
We're between Philadelphia and Scranton, kind of right between the two on the east side of the state of Pennsylvania. So, right off of 95, right off of 81, the Turnpike, whatever. Not too far away from any of those big major highways.
We'll definitely be coming by.
Well, that'd be awesome. So stay in touch there. So one quick other little thing I like to touch on. So you talked about your music. How can people get their hands on your music, and how can they find you in the social medias? Are you the guys that actually answer? Do you have folks that help you out with the social medias? Give us a little information there.
All right, our Twitter and our Instagram is @VioletBellMusic. Violet Bell Music, that is, and our website is lizzy.net, lizzy.net.
And we do actually answer because we do everything ourselves. We do all the booking and the routing and the promo and everything. For now, but that's one of the reasons we're planning out so far ahead of time. We just want to be free to be making music.
Yeah.
So hi, it's Violet, as in purple, Bell, as in thing that rings.
Awesome. Well, so that's awesome that people can reach out to you via the social medias, especially if they know you're going to nearby. Are you posting where you're traveling and where they can see you?
That's a really good idea.
We try to do that a lot more recently since our friend Shauna Tucker, who plays amazing cello and is a singer-songwriter as well, she is older than us and gave us the scoop on social media, and we felt like such noobs. We updated our Instagram in 3 years.
Oh my!
Not updating it, updating the app. I mean.
Okay, I was like,
no. We post on there. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I mean, that's a great way to just post out. It's like, hey, coming up in the next week, we're going to be here, and here, and people can follow your trail and follow where you're heading and say, hey, are you going to be anywhere near Hershey, Pennsylvania? Are you going to be anywhere near, here in Vermont? And, if you've got your fans and they're willing to travel, you might find some of your fans will travel for you if they know where to go. They got to find you. So
totally.
So, yeah, I mean, keeping an eye on your social medias and your website and also a little bit, tease them about that album. I'm looking forward to, you guys getting another album possibly put together next summer with some more great music.
Yeah. Percussion this time. We're going to have another player in the mix with us.
Well, that sounds awesome. So, yeah. And, again, if you are putting something new out there, always know that you can get back in touch with me and we'll have you guys back on the show too.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Casey. Thank you for doing what you do and for sharing great music all over the world.
Well, we sure do try. So, yeah, we're going to hit that deer one, and then we're going to play Vampire at the end of the show. But do you guys have anything else you want to throw out there to your fans real quick? I know you guys are busy. I don't want to tie you up too long.
We just want to say thank you. We are so grateful to all of our friends who have come out to shows, who have supported us and heard our music, new friends, old friends. We could not do it without the people who care to see live music and who come together to make that happen. And it's just every day I can't believe how lucky we are, and it is only because of our fans and our friends. And come say hi. We're at Violet Bell Music on Twitter and Instagram, and Violet Bell on Facebook. And we are at Lizzy.net, Lizzy.net online.
That sounds awesome. I'm sure people are going to be checking that out. I'm going to play some more music of yours to let everybody get the feel from your sound and your style and whatever you want to call it, your genre. But appreciate your time, guys. Thank you so much, Lizzy and Omar, for taking some time today for being on the Wall to Wall Country Show. We're going to play some more of your music. We look forward to hearing from you when you got something new and exciting going on in 2018.
Awesome. Happy New Year, Casey, and all of you folks listening. Thank you, guys.
Take care now. Good luck and bye-bye. We'll see you soon.
Bye.